Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Wreden. I wrote the Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way.
Oh.
And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game.
Whoa.
Warning. Whisper machine active. Shift to structure image.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Security call reached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kinda looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere.
Oh, it's cute.
But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin ship evacuation.
Ooh.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Oh, here we go.
Apparently this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Thanks.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine room. You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Yeah, sure.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Wow. That's kind of
The beam
pretty.
causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind. Yep.
You can only walk backwards. The past was behind her. This is hard.
So it's a short and relatively
But the
minimalist
future could not be
experiment
seen.
combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Oh wow, why does the future keep changing? Oh, over here. When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. But if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
I really like that. Ooh, I'm not a fan of this. You are now entering.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting. Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Ooh, so slow.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Enter. Whoa. Play as a pair of floating eyes emitting footstep noises. A key in one game unlocks a door in a completely separate
A room
game.
that's warm
You.
and nice and filled with little ideas for games.
Sharks are trying to eat you, simultaneously you
Coda
are trying to
would
eat the
often tell me
sharks.
that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there. Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
I can't see anything. I'm stuck here.
Alright, let me just walk you through it. You're gonna hit the switch on the outside to open the door, then hit the same switch and walk through the door before it closes. You'll see a second switch on the inside, which will open the second door.
Oh, shit.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
It's pretty smart.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve the puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Ooh. Ah! It's intense. Whoa.
How about that? There was
Nice.
more to it than we had any way of knowing. I actually find it funny that this game comes after the Stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea. So, in the Stairs game,
It's really
a
pretty.
dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Oh, this shit again. You are now exiting. Oh, man.
So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the Stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
The Great and Lovely Descent.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
A streetwise fool.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well.
Ah!
The tools available to the creator shape
Wow.
the kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Does have a lot of linear boxy corridors. Oof, okay. Prison! Ah! Okay.
This prison, funny enough, in Coda's original design, the doors stayed shut for a full hour before letting you go.
Shit,
If you
man.
don't mind, I think we're gonna skip that.
Okay.
This is something that he and I used to argue about a lot. You know, whether a game ought to actually be playable, whether it means anything if no one can get through it. And I would always defend that, you know, all this work goes into the game, why not make it playable and accessible? And so we just got into heated arguments over it, and there was one time that after one of these conversations, he went home, and a day or two later, he sent me a zip file entitled Playable Games that was full of hundreds of individual games, each of which was just an empty box that you walked around in and nothing else. Believe me, I played every single one of those just to find out if there was like a gag hidden somewhere. There wasn't. It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time.
Hurry.
there's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
Pretty. You there, did you come up from above?
Here,
What's
Coda
up there?
begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
Yes, there was a world stamped with whiteness. Yes, there was an enormous prison I spent hours in. Yes, there were these floating blocks. Let's go with 3. Oh, this 3. Yes, there were these floating blocks. That's the world above. You've been there. Now this is important. Did you have to get through a puzzle with 2 doors and switches? Yes, I did. That was literally the last thing I did before coming here. Again, perfect. Now please, tell us how you solved this. Tell us the solution. Tell us how to get to the other side. I didn't solve it. Someone else let me in. You didn't solve it? So you have learned nothing. You cannot help us escape this prison. You are not the one I need. Surely there will be someone else. Ooh, more. Hello, how did you get here? Was there a puzzle you had to pass through? Yes. Do you want to know how to solve it? No, we actually find the black space between the doors to be far more interesting. Have you seen it yet? Actually, now that you mention it, I remember feeling strange as I passed through it. Don't think too hard about it. You'll see it again soon. Whee!
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level. It's a lamppost. Okay,
I love
I can't tell you
lampposts.
quite why, but for some reason, Coda fixates on this lamppost. It's going to appear at the end of every single one of his games from here on out. I'll tell you what I think. I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose, and maybe you can only float around in that headspace for so long. Because now he wants something to hold on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the work to be leading to something. He wants a destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination. We're going to see it in the work as well. His games are just going to become a lot more cohesive, a lot more fully developed, with more of a clear idea behind them. And as we go, that idea will get clearer and clearer and clearer.
Or maybe lampposts are just pretty. This game is connected to the internet. As you walk around, you can leave notes. All notes you see are left by other players. Nice room, not. Sounds like the internet.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce
How do you
this,
beat
but
this game?
This game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that
point
you're
to
going to
this.
see have been written by Coda.
Oh, these are cute.
This was actually
I like
the first
these.
game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him
Whoa,
at a
holy
weekend
shit.
game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up.
Can you guys hear
I saw
me?
him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything
Hello.
that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is
I'm
gonna
the king
happen
of the
if you
world.
read them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness.
Balls.
I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
I want to make one of these games.
But it's ironic, isn't it? That
with,
in
like,
playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
I like this a lot. It's super cute. Open sesame. It sounds like the narrator totally has like this crazy crush on this guy. He's just super obsessed with him. I like the little sounds. More room?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means. Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
Downward, keep digging.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult, Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Help.
And because there's this dark area between the doors,
Oh, there's stuff.
space between spaces,
There's comments
before you
in
move
there.
on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events
No
that
answer, I
led you
think.
here.
I'm heading back to the start later, guys.
Connect the pieces together to grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Oh, there's just one. How do you leave notes? Are you there? Please say something. It can be anything. I just need you to say something. Talk to me, please. Why are you having so much difficulty talking? Speak. Porn stars die too.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Oh well. Oh, I'm so motion sick, you guys. Alright. Oh, here we go. Alright. Oh, we're in the well.
This is it. The whole
Nice.
thing. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about
That's
it.
pretty
You just
cool.
walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Oh shit. Furniture's gone. Huh. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? Oh, cool. Wow. I used to spell refrigerator like that. Totally. Dude, put a giant hole in the ground. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? 10 stoves. Damn. Put live Tesla coils in each corner. Let's go with the skylight. And a table. You need a table. Who are you? Where exactly are you doing this from? Nice. Oh shit. Oh shit.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
This is really cool. I like this a lot.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Hello, please walk forward. Okay. This guide will enable you to escape any prison environment. Follow the instruction carefully. Take what you remember from each step. First, click on this table. Click. Good. Go over to the photo frame and click to turn it slightly. Now the floor lamp in this room is off. Turn it on. Oh, I'm confused. Now go to the left side sofa. Move it over a little. Finally, touch the shelves. That's it. In a real prison, the escape will now open. Return to the start to be taken back to your prison. Here we are.
Now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Haha.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside.
Whoa,
Let me just link
trippy.
you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person basically unraveling.
Oh, it's the door again.
And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I can
Oh, it's upside down.
But
It's a series, man.
voice telling you to stop.
Let it go.
That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Ooh. Ow. Can't move. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you from after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in the prison too?
It's a conversation. So this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows.
I like the furniture maze.
The irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
It's actually totally normal to talk to yourself, so that's fine. Oh, I'm so glad to know that I get out eventually. What's it like to escape? All of these three things are like real. If the prison is talking about like depression and stuff, like all of these three things is exactly what it's like to not be depressed. I'm in sit 2. It's strange, but in a way I kind of miss being in the prison. Why? Was there anything about it that you felt good about? Being here sucks. Number 2, for sure. It was comfortable, I knew its limits, I knew my place. Is that good though? It's comfortable, but it's inhuman. I couldn't live this way. You'll see what I'm talking about when you've been there for a while longer. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another person? Another version of you when you were trapped? No, I think I'm the first person to call back. Then can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? To get out, just talk with me for a bit. What? That will free me? How does that work? Well, number one's kind of patronizing, so we're not gonna do that. It will make sense. Okay, I can talk. Let's just talk for a bit. Will you be here? I'll be here for as long as you need.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's
It's really
puzzle,
pretty.
with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
That is pretty nice. Ooh, clean. Well, my goodness, I'm glad as heck you showed up. Thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself. Right miserable that would have been. Everyone knows lonesome hands make lousy homes.
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't worry about me. A place this nice, I'll be glad to stay here all night. Well, now you just might be getting a little ahead of yourself there, no? Why don't we start cleaning and then you decide whether you could do it all night? I'll finish up here. In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Done. Much nicer. That's the table I want to see. Now, could you please run to the bedroom and make the bed? I don't know where the bedroom is. Done. While you're in there, why don't you straighten the rug? How'd you end up doing this job? A friend dragged me along at a time when I was particularly desperate for cash. Turns out I've never felt so good doing something for money in my whole life. Never did like cleaning my own home. I might have got some demons I ain't ready to face yet. Oh, speaking of demons, someone's put this couch all in a mess. Would you come out and straighten these pillows here? Oh dear, looks like someone spilled a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop that up as long as you're over there? I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Make it especially cheesy. No. Okay. No, it's stupid. Sorry, never mind. Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about scrub it down best you can? No need to be perfect. We're all just human. Scrub the tub. Are there still books scattered on the floor in the bedroom? If so, could you put them back on the shelf? Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
Set of prison games. This house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
House cleaning is so difficult. How do you do it? Darling, let me tell you something. Your house is only as difficult to clean as you are. If you're finding the work hard, maybe you have a bit of housekeeping to do before you come to work.
I know that I really like this game.
And here I go on another lecture.
Work, actually, this
of course I would.
He called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time. Just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Earlier, when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. But there's a bit of truth in it, no? Anyway, so housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he found some peace.
Should we go over and straighten them up a bit? Can't have these folks coming home to a messy couch. Question.
But, of course,
do you enjoy
it can't
this?
last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive. Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move.
Items you love at members-only prices. Why did you come here today? Was it to improve your life? Ooh, he's only talk. Was it to get a better job? Was it to make your relationships more meaningful? No. You came here to be perfect. Oh, I hate school. This is exactly what school is like. This workshop is going to teach you how to be perfect. I want your friends, the people in your life, to look at you and think, wow, this person is a better human being than I am. Perfection is within your grasp. And the question is not how we do it, but how do we do it effortlessly? That is easy. It is so easy. Being perfect is effortless. Oh shit. Okay, but like, how real is this? This is like school. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay.
Suddenly, you
Anyways.
discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are.
On the way to work, I told an elderly person to start contributing to society. Kids should not follow their dreams. I still love you. It's just that you make me feel cold on the inside. Anyone want to do some ecstasy after this? Do what is easiest. Do what is simplest. Feel what is true. Nothing. No one.
I felt pretty hard for this one.
Haha, perfection.
One of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days.
That is academia in a nutshell.
This one took a lot longer than all the others for Coda to make. It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took him to make any other game before this, and it's not like it's particularly complex, so I remember I found that a little strange at the time.
Alright, the performance is beginning. Places, please. In this scene, you will be playing as me. We are at a gathering of professionals. First, you'll start out leaning against this wall. What wall? Oh, okay, wall. Yeah, hey. Good, stay right there. The woman across the room in this chair is a professional photographer of animals. It is your dream to photograph animals professionally. This is your one chance to learn something from her, to gain something, to succeed. Go on, say something to her. I'm gonna be some like Jack Barrowman over here and be like, hello. Hello, that's it? That's not a conversation. Neither is, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. You need to actually converse with her. Be a human being. Dude, number 3, that's so mean. Here are all my hopes and dreams. That's me all the time. No, that's not what I said to her at all. You're completely missing the conversation. I was reserved, but I knew what I wanted. I was confident. For some reason, it was just that one moment I was confident. Maybe it's just like you need a better feel of the setting. There were a lot of people around us. I'll give you some props to work with. These cones that bounce when you touch them will represent the people nearby. Now talk to her again. Oh, I want to bounce. Boing. It's like pinball. That's cute. Okay, hold on, let me lean against this wall. Hey, girl. I I'll bet you've learned to lean into the pain. Damn. What are some sacrifices you've had to make? You're messing it all up again. You'll freak her out if the conversation gets that personal that quickly. Do you not realize how important this was for me? I'll never get an opportunity like this again. Everything was riding on this. I want to try something. Try stepping back from this stage. Oh, a lamppost. I feel so Narnia. I miss Oxford. Alright. We're stepped back. Oh, shit. Fuck. Okay, yes, now this is working. This is what it was like.
What happened next in Coda's life? The solution to social anxiety, to
That's perfect. Wonderful. This is really wonderful.
Success. The answer for Coda is to withdraw, to hide himself away. Which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games ago.
You're doing great.
It just becomes harder and harder to access Coda's inner landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest, I didn't consider it very healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because
it's not about you.
His games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
And that's a privilege, but no one owes you art.
But what can you do? After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
Mobius trip. Mobius trip, I get it. To play this game properly, you must keep your eyes closed. Click to begin the game. Okay, my eyes are closed. I don't know what's going on. Because my eyes are closed. And click. Can't walk. I don't know where WAC is. Is this WAC? Okay, let's walk forward. Am I getting anywhere? Okay, the music stopped. Okay, let's start it again.
You should probably open your eyes if you haven't already.
Okay,
it's pretty much impossible to solve otherwise.
Okay.
And there is a solution, by the way.
Oh, there was stuff on the screen. Okay. What's going on? Oh, these people are blind too. Oh no, same. I can't die like this. Wait, I don't know. What's going on? There's a giant door. Oh, is that the giant door? Oh, fuck. Fuck. Switch? Who knows? Switch! Ah! Alright, you guys. Cool. The elevator's on the sides. Ah, okay. Ooh, cool. Shit, nice. Ooh, truth. Sub-truth. The only way to stop it is to speak something that is honest. I am bursting with creative energy. True. No, that's untruthful. What? You don't know my truth? Alright, okay, sorry. I'll say something else. Damn, okay, fine. God. Okay.
Let me explain how you're supposed to do
Alright. Yo, bro, I'm already here.
Which go up to an upper level. You have to go up,
can't keep making
walk over
these.
to the person who's standing there, and then select dialogue option number 2.
Ahead of you, man.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So, where's that coming from?
I don't feel it anymore.
Then, even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him.
Keep going, keep
Not
talking.
Like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just
I haven't been
deflect
honest.
anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time?
You're doing it, it's working.
Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way.
I'm alone. We're gonna be okay.
His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
This guy's getting really annoying. That might be the point, but I kind of hate him. Hello? Ooh. Oh, that's creepy. Hello? Is anyone there? Is that a person? How lovely. It's been a long time since I've talked to anyone. What's wrong? You look lost. When I try to create, I feel empty. What's happened? Did something change? I'm trying to find this engine that used to protect me, to start it again. Wait, you're looking for a machine? I think I know where it is. It isn't far. I need to see it to know why it stopped.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now,
I can take you to it, but there's a problem.
Here's a friend whose work is exhibiting signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. He keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
Art doesn't matter what I say. Oh, I clicked 3 and it said deal. Wow, too real. Ooh, man, I really hope this isn't racist. Perfect. Come along, I'll show it to you.
Because from my perspective at the time, and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was.
Oh, I love
In
this.
his own little bubble.
Here's the puzzle. What do you
Sitting at his
think?
computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone.
Hey, I recognize
Not
this.
releasing them onto the internet. And so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
Now just press the switch here. Wow, that was so simple.
You can't talk
Can't believe I
yourself
never
out of
solved it
loneliness.
before this.
It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash.
Sounds like some bullshit people who don't know what anxiety and depression feel like would say. Okay, here we are. There's no machine here. Was that crying? Trust me, you'll see. You have to say that your work is fun and easy. You have to say that game development is simple and joyous and that you love it 100% of the time. Okay, making games is simple. That feels wonderful. Why did I feel so awful when I said that? Don't worry about it, just keep talking. Keep saying that creation is easy. I am constantly excited and enthusiastic about my work. Yes, that's wonderful.
Seeing
Keep
this game
going.
at the time that he made it, it looked really unhealthy to me.
Every time I make something, I feel better about myself.
I hated seeing him so
Perfect.
It's like video games
That feels
are
fantastic.
not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about. And I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing for me.
Okay, 1, it's not about you. And 2, this super just sounds like, oh, why do you make such, depressing art? Like, maybe that's why you're depressed. It's just like this externalization. Like, come on. Come on. Gonna vomit. Patience, you have to trust me. I promise this will work. Please, continue. Pain breezes effortlessly off of me. Yes, more.
I don't know. This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it.
I believe
I
this
wanted it to
unquestionably.
stop more than anything.
I am a vessel for certainty.
So rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to stop.
Incredible. That's it. That's it. I'm free.
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one, Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
The machine. Ooh, there's a guard. Hey, sup, guard. Ma'am, I'm glad to see you've arrived safely. We've captured the machine. It's waiting for you now. You can begin the interrogation whenever you like. Ooh, address me as ma'am. Nice. I intend to be quiet. Very good. Just be warned that someone called the press, so we might have a bit of attention on this one. Also, one more thing you should know about the machine. It calls itself Coda. Oh, that's creepy. Oh, that's creepy. Ooh, it's cute.
And of course, it's the machine.
Ooh, this is super cool. Oh, just like visualizing this. I love that. Like giving like a physicality to something that you're like looking for. It's really cool, especially like when it feels intangible. You know, totally love this. Anyways, you stopped. You stopped feeding us. How could we possibly go back to trusting you to do this job? I've been so alone. Apologize for leaving me. I have seen the thing you fear. Alright then, I will apologize to the people on your behalf. My followers. I have a troubling revelation. The machine refuses to admit that it deliberately hurt us. But this is not important. We are stronger than it thinks we are. Let us show it that we are not failures. Follow me, we will destroy everything that the machine has created. Oh wow. Okay, I'm ready this time. Not gonna jump. Oh shit. Fuck. Oh.
Remember, you can click to fire the gun.
Oh fuck. Okay, cool. Oh, shoot giant holes. Coda, I'll make sure you are known forever. Oh, nice. Oh, dude.
So now the work is becoming
this is cute.
And I'll tell you, at the time that I first...
I like this.
Shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation.
This is really cool.
And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting
Wow,
feedback.
please don't
So,
out people.
what if I did it for him?
Don't
If he could see
do
the
shit
difference,
for
it would
other people like
have
this.
more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral?
Oh, you are the
Would it give him
worst.
confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work?
This is so fun, you guys. This idea room. Oh god.
So I started
Pew
showing
pew.
Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape game. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point point of it all was just to give him some external reference point, but
Ow.
they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Oh, hi. Machine. Put down your weapon. Okay. Oh, shit. Nope. Fuck you.
Can you see why I felt like this was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something... I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. When they told me how much they enjoyed his games, it was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So...
Yeah, for you.
Beautifully happy.
And people don't always experience the same things the way that you do.
So anyway, Coda finishes this game, and then really he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower. And to my knowledge, it's the last game that Coda ever made.
The Tower. My leg is falling asleep, you guys.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, The Tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game. This room actually has a maze in it.
Ah!
Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible. And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all.
Ah!
But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze.
Thanks. Bridge over the maze.
And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game.
Playable again.
That one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually end. But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to randomly guess the 6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me. Because it's the opposite
It goes
of
by
everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement.
Oh, you just add these
It doesn't
on.
ask anything of me, except a lot of my time.
Ah! Oh, I thought I was
If
gonna
I
fall.
could have reached him during this time, then maybe
Put in my
I could
social
have asked
security
him,
number.
but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on.
151617. Man, how'd they know my social security number? Fuck. Oops. Man, that's like the hardest game to just like, you just have to guess like a 6-digit number. It's so impossible. Whee! Ah!
The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door.
Well,
meaning
shit.
that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me. The idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely. Just saying, that's it. That's the end of the conversation. Not giving me any way to fix the problem. I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem. But I can open this door for you, so let me do that.
You can't fix people. You can only love them.
Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution, but I feel it somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time, and as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this person is. It wasn't the guy I knew. It wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy.
This is really pretty.
It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like I had failed.
Okay, so, the problem with, trying to fix people is that you can't. You can't fix people. People aren't problems. They have their own problems, and they hopefully would find, resources to help them and teach them how to heal. But, you, as, a friend, a lover, anything, a family member, you can't fix them. You can only love them, right? And that's because that's what they need. People don't need fixing, they need loving. Oftentimes when people are kind of expressing cries for help or just anything, showing you that they're struggling, it's not because they want you to fix them. It's not because they want you to fix their problem. It's because they need space to externalize what they're feeling. They need space to feel supported, feel affirmed, feel validated that their struggle is real and that their pain is real and not made up in their heads or something. So I don't know, therapists and professionals have a lot of lessons to teach and they can really help you understand your emotions, but other people don't fix you. That's a process and a journey of recovery that you go on by yourself, and I think whenever you try to actively do something to fix someone, it's just you can't know what they need, and so we have to as friends and people who love and care about someone, we need to be here to support them and validate them and tell them that their pain is real and that and relate to them where you can. Dude, loneliness sucks, depression sucks, because you need that more than you need someone to give you the keys to how to not be depressed, because you really can't offer that at all. And also just the idea that we can love people without fixing them. They can continue to have their own problems and be super depressed and continue wanting to kill themselves and be anxious as fuck all the time without, and they can be that way and they can exist that way and that's okay. And we can continue to love them in that capacity as well, without having to fix them, because they aren't wrong and they aren't the problem, and they're also more than their problems. Someone who's depressed and suicidal is more than depression and suicide ideation, so yeah.
Where did I screw up?
Also, other people are not your response. Sorry, I have so much to say about this because mental illness is so near and dear to me. Yeah, and other people are not your responsibility, and like you aren't responsible for other people's emotions, and that is like the main reason why you can't fix them, because like these problems don't belong to you, and like they don't belong to you, and you have to like believe in their agency and like support like their strength, you know, like you have to believe that like if they're gonna get out of it, like they're the ones who are gonna fix it, not you, you know. You have to like respect their agency. And anyways, continuing. Dear Davey, thank you for your interest in my games.
I'm the reason that you stopped making games.
I need to ask you not to speak to me anymore.
It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you.
This is like how you cut off toxic people from your life. That's good, that's good.
I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt... It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable.
I wonder at times whether you think I am making these games for you. You've so infected my personal space that it's possible I did begin to plant solutions in my work somewhere, hidden between games.
They really listened and cared about what I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself.
If there was an answer, a meaning, would it make you any happier? Would you stop taking my games and showing them to people against my wishes, giving them something that is not yours to give, violating the one boundary that keeps me safe? Would you stop changing my games? Stop adding lampposts to them. Ooh, he added the lamppost. The meaning, oh, whoa, meta.
And then you stopped.
Would you simply let them be what they are?
I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean?
When I am around you, I am physically ill. You desperately need something and I cannot give it to you. I literally do not have it. Struggling to come up with new ideas is not making me depressed. Low points are just part of the process. The fact that you think I am frustrated or broken says more about you than about me. I realize this doesn't make sense to you just yet. Which is fine, you're not my problem to solve. Literally, exactly. Yes, oh, I love this. But I do hope that one day it clicks, and that you make peace with this thing you are wrestling.
I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
And when you finally see what I'm talking about, don't say anything. Ooh, there's no switch!
That's why I'm releasing this collection of your work. Is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. So a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out
You're
into the world,
worst.
if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please. I need to feel okay with myself again.
You're the worst.
Okay
this is so good.
To see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like I'm showing people your work. But
literally right now.
Stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again.
They are
like
moving.
I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work?
We're
Will that
gonna
fix
die.
it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please. start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. And I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
Epilogue.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease. Solution. I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed. Maybe he just likes making prisons. Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Ooh.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Pretty. Oh, it's the beam. Do we kill ourselves? Yes. Here's the glitch. Whoa, infinite maze. Oh, that makes me so dizzy.
Turn back from this cave. You said, let me prove that I'm brave. Let me keep going. But the cave goes for miles and miles and miles, and you're so tired.